Morning. Come in, come in, come in, come in, come in, come in. Lovely to see you. How is everybody? Let me know who's going to be first. Is it going to be Lisa or is it going to be Kat? I'd love to know. Lisa. Hi. How is everybody? Okay, morning Lisa. What a lovely day it is. Morning, morning, morning. Hope you are well. Okay, I'll just let a couple of you come in before I start jabbering on about what we are doing today. Yeah, hi Kat, lovely. Oh, you're far behind Lisa this morning, Kat. Okay, lovely. So, and it's a lovely day out there, so I'm obviously thinking that it's possibly going to be a quiet class, but let's see. Well done for disciplining yourself to come along on such a nice day. So today we're going to be working with a beginner's class. This is nice for any of you guys who want to have a gentle style practice. Still got dressed, that's what, yeah. Cat, you miss it, early bird catches the worm. I'm joking. Yeah, anybody who wants to have a gentle style practice, focusing a little bit more with holding poses, some of the more common and let's say foundational poses of the yoga practice that we're going to be working with today. So we'll work through a couple of sun salutes, we'll work with some of the more common standing yoga poses, we'll work with alignment through those poses, we'll work with the breath, and we'll just have a nice simple body workout, which will be basically connecting posture to posture with the breath and just allowing ourselves a little bit of time in each pose so that we can start to feel the posture, understand the posture a little bit more, and give yourself a little bit of space to work with the alignment around each pose. Okay, so anyway, apart from the class that we're doing, this week we are actually donating towards NHS. So obviously these classes are completely free, but some of you have been wanting to give donations, and please can you not give them to me and Donnie. This week we want to give it to the NHS for all their hard work. We would have also chose like care home, people working in care homes and all of the wonderful carers around, but we could only use one donation button, otherwise it gets confusing. So we'll pop the link if you want to donate to the NHS for any of these yoga classes that we're doing throughout this week, then that would be fabulous. Yeah, that's about it really. If you know of anyone who is a complete beginner to yoga, like a pal or something like that, maybe you can tag them in this video or give us a share the video down here, I think it is, or here. I'm not really sure, but that would be absolutely wonderful. I'm just trying to give as much of the yoga practice to the households of Britain or wherever. I don't know, we've had people from Egypt this week, Thailand I think last week, so just giving as much of the yoga practice to the household that we can. So please do share guys, and that would be great. Who have we got here? Al, morning darling. Hello Kate. Yeah, good morning. So we'll get started. Hi James. And that's it. Let's go. So all you'll need for this class is your mat. If you're a complete beginner and you don't have a mat, then you can always use a carpet or you can use the floor. It doesn't really matter as long as you're bringing your body to the practice. If you've got knee issues, you might want to take a little blanket so you can pop it underneath the knees at any point. And I think that's about it really. We're just going to work with the body instead of thinking about all these extras that we might need. Morning Anna. Okay, let's get to the mat. Be about a 40 minute movement practice today. Cool. All right everybody, so you're going to sit on the mat facing this way, and I'm going to face you to start with so we can just see each other first of all. And first of all, we're going to sit into this easy pose. Okay, so in the yoga practice, we always come into the easy posture to start with. Now this might be even on a chair. If this is not comfortable for you, you can sit on a chair. You can always stick a leg out if you've got any knee issues, or two legs. However it's comfortable for you, then just take that position. And if you're feeling fine in a seated position, crossing the legs like this, just starting to get that external rotation into the hips. And then from here, pop the hands to the knees and close the eyes down. Lovely. Okay, so through this practice, all I want you to think about, if you're completely new to the practice, is to move from posture to posture with a very steady and calm breath. Okay, and if something becomes a little bit challenging, which is quite normal, that's fine. Even though the poses we're working through are rather simple structures, they can still get challenging because we're working the muscles, we're holding postures, which strengthens the muscles, and we're also sort of combining that with the breath and some alignment. So that can be quite challenging. Okay, so just work with it and try and keep this steady breath. Okay, so just starting in your easy pose with the eyes closed down, and start to bring a little bit of a longer and deeper breath than you usually would. And just watch that breath for a couple of rounds. So we're starting to sort of bring the awareness towards the length and the depth of the breath, coming in and out of the torso. Fabulous, guys. Keep here for just a couple of rounds, and I want you to think about this. Think about drawing all the way up through the spine, so you've got this very tall, elongated spine to the sky, and lots of space around the muscles that surround the spine. So we're breathing and growing, and when we exhale, we're finding a little bit of relaxation. So you might want to just relax the shoulder blades, relax the hips. And a really nice little description of yoga that I'm going to give you from Patanjali's Yoga Sutras is we move the body to stop the fluctuations of the mind. So it's a mindfulness practice. We're working with calming the mind, releasing any bits of stress or anxiety, all of these funny human being issues that we get, while strengthening the body at the same time. What's not to love? Okay, from here, let's take a final breath in. So very big inhale. Hold the breath. And then exhale out the mouth, like a sigh. Fab, guys. Come with the eyes open. Lovely. Okay, so let's start in child's pose. I'm going to tuck the top in, so we always wear a baggy top and it's never suitable. Okay, so child's pose. If you're not used to it, we're coming onto the shins like this so that you're on the top of the feet, and we're sitting the hips, sit bones back into the heels. It doesn't matter if they touch or not, just in that direction. And then from here, slide the hands out and relax the forehead towards the earth. Again, if you're not used to working in this pose, it might feel a little tight at first. That's quite normal, so don't worry about it. Breathe into the lower back and into the back of the heart space, long, slow, deep breaths. And I want you to think about spreading your fingers. So you've got a very broad surface area with the foundation, hands. So the foundation in yoga is anything touching the floor. So we want this to be nice and stable so that the pose can feel comfortable. So last couple of breaths here, feeling for sort of finding space around the side of the body. So we're stretching the sides. We're relaxing the jaw and we're relaxing the area between the eyebrows. And then from here, take an inhale and we'll rock our bodies up into a tabletop position. Okay, so tabletop position, just check firstly that you've got your shoulder blades over your wrists, so really nice stacking of the joints here. And then think about the same with the hips over the knees. So we're always thinking about stacking the joints in quite a nice solid foundation, and that's going to be much more supportive for your poses. And then from here, tuck your toes under, and we'll start with a couple of rounds of spinal flex. So we're just warming up the spine. So on an inhale, so use your breath, inhale, lift the gaze and the tailbone up towards the sky. So you've got this arch of the belly, of the spine. And on an exhale, draw the belly in and round the back of the heart to the sky. So you're finding like an angry cat position. Excellent. Again, inhale, lift gaze, lift tailbone up to the sky. So you've got this arch of the spine. So we're really working into getting some of the stagnation from the spine. And exhale, draw the belly in, round the back of the heart space to the sky. 2 more rounds. Inhale, lift gaze, lift tailbone up, stretch the belly, arch the spine. Exhale, draw the belly in, round the back of the heart space. So trying to work 1 breath per movement as much as possible. Inhale last time. And exhale last time. Fab. Then from here, come to a flat back. So flat back, often when I'm in flat back position and my tailbone sticks up a bit because I've got a bit of a duck bum. So I have to think about drawing my belly in so that I can lengthen my back and support my glutes and this powerhouse belly and back. So I draw the belly in, lift navel into spine slightly, then have a little look at your first finger. Make sure it's pointing forward and it's parallel to the other first finger. Shoulder width apart, spread the fingers. From here, tuck your toes, push into the hands and lift the hips all the way up and back. We're working into a down dog so that we've got something along the lines of an upside down V shape. Okay, so hands and feet are like a rectangle on the floor and your bum comes up to the sky, hugging the belly in, and we've got this upside down V shape. Now this might be quite challenging at first, building strength around the wrists, and maybe you feel a bit tight in the back of the legs. Just to soften that tightness, maybe we can pedal 1 heel down and the next heel. Don't be too precious with this, just pedaling, working the breath with the movement. Last couple of rounds, big inhales and exhales. Fab. And then from here, come into some stillness for 1 moment. Reach the heels away from the sit bones down towards the earth. And then from here, pop the knees to the floor. So roll back onto the knees. Oof, start to take that sort of tightness out of the shoulder girdle. You will get used to this hanging upside down in yoga. Okay, we're making our way to the front of the mat. So I want you to step the left foot forward. So you've got a box lunge. Okay, so you can see that my legs are making almost like a box shape. Front knee joint over ankle joint. And then from here, pin the fingertips to the floor and lift the back knee away from the floor. So we're working that back leg. Start to straighten out through the back leg, keeping it nice and strong. And then let's press into the back toe, bend the knee and take a little bounce forward. So we've got 2 feet forward. When we get there, heel toe the feet hip width apart, bend the knees, so we've got the rib cage coming toward the thigh. We're starting to flop the body into the space. Now this wants to be quite comfortable. If it's really sort of hard work on the legs, on the thighs, by bending deeply, you can always straighten them a little bit more, but keep a micro bend. And then I like to interlace my elbows here, relax the head down and start to just find the connection to breath. Ragdoll pose. So make it like a ragdoll. Make it quite floppy, quite passive. Relax the jaw and the crown of the head and the space between the eyebrows. Last few breaths here, guys. Lovely. Relax the hands down. Draw the navel, so belly muscles, belly button into spine, and roll the body up as if coming from that area. This is your powerhouse. All this, the lower abdomen, the glutes, the hips, the thighs, is our strong area. So we want to work from this area. So once you come standing, shimmy the feet together, and then just extend the hands to the side of the body with the palms facing me. Looking forward, grow tall. Okay, this is called mountain pose or samastitihi. We're thinking about this centre of gravity, so think about that full centre line, almost like a big cylindrical space coming from the ground all the way up towards the sky. Lovely. Big inhale, reach the arms above the head and look at the thumbs. And on an exhale, bend the knees and fold forward again, like we just did. Now, if the hands don't touch the floor, you can always bend the knees a little deeper and then start to bring the hands to the floor, so you're more of a crouch position. On an inhale, bring the fingertips to the shins and take a halfway lift. So we're lifting the heart slightly, the belly's in and the spine's nice and long. Lovely. Exhale, take another fold down the midline. So slide the hands down the legs. Maybe take a little sort of movement from side to side, working into the back of the legs. Lovely. From here, pin the fingertips to the floor, bend the knees and step 2 feet back into a kneeling position. So step them back, then come straight onto the knees. And then from here again, we're checking the hands, making sure that they're broad and shoulder width apart. Couple of rounds of the spinal flex. Inhaling, gaze and tailbone up to sky, so just like we did before. Exhaling, draw the belly in, round the back of the heart space. Lovely, guys. And an inhale, gaze, tailbone up, work your breath if you can. Exhale, draw the belly in, round the back of the heart space. And last round, inhale, gaze, tailbone up. And exhale, round. Lovely, come to that flat back position, but try not to hang the belly and stick the bum up. Keep that connection to core body and that lower abdomen. From here, tuck the toes under, push into your hands. Let's reach up and back with the hips and find that down dog position again. I promise you this will get easier. Okay, at first I do realise that down dog can be challenging because we're just not used to inverting the body in this way and putting that sort of strength down through the wrists. It might mean here, okay, that you've got your knees bent and you're starting to push away from the earth with the shoulder blades and the chest, lifting up, finding that strong and long spine. That's fine. I would rather you have a bit of a bend in the knee than thinking you have to force those ankles towards the earth. If you've got the space here, you can start to extend those ankles down and breathe into the back of the legs. Hold for one more breath. Lovely. Exhale, relieve the wrists, come onto your knees. Lovely, guys. Make your way forward again. So this time we're coming with the right foot. So we've got a box lunge. Some of you might want to take a couple of little circles in the wrist just to get that flexibility back into the joints for a moment. Lovely. Just check you've got your front knee over your ankle and then lift the back knee off the floor, working with a strong back leg. So press the heel away from the face and activate the thigh. The quadricep here wants to be nice and active. From here, bend the knees slightly and bounce forward. So we're meeting 2 feet at the front of the mat like we did before. Inhale this time, halfway lift. Bring the fingertips to the shins and gaze forward. Exhale, slide down the legs, take a forward fold. Again, you might bend the knee here. It doesn't matter where you come to, guys. Just taking whatever suits you. Big reach up this time, so swoop the arms all the way above the head and take the gaze to the thumb. On your exhale, hands come to the side of the body, finding the Samasthiti mountain pose. Turn the palms outwards, so external rotation of the hands, so that we're broadening the collarbone and the palms face me. Find your breath. Okay, nice. Let's bring a bit more activity into this. So again, big reach up, take the arms above the head, gaze to the thumb. Exhale, fall down the midline and take a forward fold. Pop the hands to the floor or wherever they come to. Inhale, take a halfway lift. Gaze forward, belly in. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands, and this time we're going to step back into a plank position. Okay, so step 1 foot back to start with, and then step the other foot back. Now, if you haven't done this in a while, it might be quite challenging, so you might want to drop one knee to the floor as you build that strength around the belly and the shoulders. Okay, so we won't be here for long. I just want you to make sure you've got the shoulder over wrist, belly active, 2 strong legs, so you're nice and stable. We're not dipping here. Okay, we're lifting here, and let's pop to the knees. Oof, take that pressure off the shoulders. Okay, from here, once we're on the knees, we're moving down to the floor, and take a little look at where my elbows are going to start with. So I want you to bring your elbows out, wrap them under so that they're going at a right angle and hooking the upper arm into the rib cage. From here, you're supporting the rib cage as you come down. Upper arm supports rib cage, tailbone up. Take the chest and chin to the earth. Okay, keeping those elbows in toward the side body. Slide the rest of the body down so you've got the pubic bone pressing into the earth. Keep the hands and palms where they are, and then take a big inhale and lift just chest off the floor. Working with the baby cobra. Keep the shoulder blades down the back and the elbows in, so we're shining the heart forward. Lovely. And exhale, pop that chest back to the floor. From here, tuck the toes under, so you're on your tiptoes, and push up and back into an active child's pose. Okay, so the sit bones come towards the heels, the hands extend out, and your forehead comes to the floor. Breathe in here. Maybe you want to start to bend in the elbows and draw the arms slightly towards the knees. So we've got this softness around the shoulders. Now think for a moment about the breath. So working this long, slow and natural breath to start with, just warming the body up. And just allow the breath to guide the movement as much as you can. So slow it right back down, guys. Nice work. Okay, so you can either stay here or we can start to work back into dog. So bring those hands forward. Think about your first finger. Ground down through that first finger, nice and parallel to the other first finger. Then rock up into the all fours position. Keep your toes tucked under. Lift up and back into your upside down V-shaped down dog. Maybe we can start to gaze towards the big toes here, so you're lengthening the back of the neck. Long, slow breath. Okay, so working through sun salute here. So we've just done modified salutes, warming the body up. We're going to work through a full sun salute. So first of all, I want you to think about walking the feet very, very slowly. However you get there, it doesn't matter. It can be tight in the morning. Come to the front of the mat. Once you get there, inhale, take that halfway lift, so the fingertips come to the shins and you're gazing forward. Exhale, take your forward fold. So fold down the midline, relax the jaw, relax the back of the neck. Inhale, swoop the arms all the way above the head and look up towards the thumbs. Exhale, hands come to the side of the body, finding this Samasthiti, mountain pose position. Lovely, guys. Okay, and again, let's bring a bit more energy back in. Inhale, raise the arms up, gaze to the thumbs. Exhale, bend the knees and fold down the midline, bringing the hands to the floor. Inhale, halfway lift, fingertips to shins, gazing forward. Lovely, so you might be getting used to this by now. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands to the floor, step one foot, and then 2 feet back into that plank, shoulders over wrists, belly in, 2 strong legs. Hold for 1 breath. Excellent, guys. Pop the knees to the floor, and this time we're going to think about keeping the hips a little bit further forward than the knees, so it's almost like a top of a push-up. The elbows come in and back at a right angle. Shift the body weight forward and lower yourself to the earth by bending the elbows. Not dropping the hips, just bending the elbows. Now this is quite strong. If that's too much, you can always again take chest and chin to the floor and come down, all the way down. Inhale, lift the chest. So work the back muscles and then press into the hands, elbows wrap in at a right angle. Lengthen your neck, cobra pose. Exhale, pop the chest to the floor and lift up and back into a normal child's pose. So not active, just normal. On the top of the feet, relax your head down and then send the hands to the side of the feet. So you're relaxing those hands to the side of the body and starting to find a little bit of space and relaxation around the shoulders and the arms. Notice your breath. And just keep bringing the awareness back to the breath. So if the breaths become short or sharp or that's quite normal because you've done a bit of exercise, a bit of movement. So just thinking about in the yoga practice of constantly bringing the awareness back to the breath. Lovely. Okay, so you can either stay here, chill out for a bit, I'll come back up into down dog. Okay, check your hands. I'm such an OCD with checking the hands for down dog. You'll notice if you're one of my students. But I think it's really important because it protects the joints, it makes everything much more comfortable. Again, so index finger, first finger forward, spread the rest of the fingers, make it nice and broad, and then all the way up with the hips. Hopefully you're feeling a little bit more stretch in the back of the legs. So keep curling that tailbone up towards the sky, hugging the belly in, softening the heels down. Long, slow breath. Lovely. And then from here, this time we're going to step forward with the right foot. So we're just bringing a little bit more activity into this class. Step forward. I want you to bring the foot in between the hands. It might mean that you step here, and that's enough. Then you can take the ankle and pick it up and actually put it there, and eventually we'll come all the way through. Once you've got this almost lunge position, I want you to shimmy the right foot, the front foot, out to the right slightly, so there's a bit of space widthways in between the heels. Then turn your back foot down so that the heel's on the floor and the back foot's at a little angle. And then we're starting to send the chest bone forward, so we're forward facing. On an inhale, press into the feet and raise the arms above the head. Reach for the sky. Find this warrior one position. Okay, with warrior one, it's quite a challenging pose because obviously we've got forward facing hips and a slight angle on our back foot. It means that the back leg needs to sort of twist forward to work into the pose. Now I find if it's too much, you can always shorten the space between the front foot and the back foot and then draw the hips aligned with one another. So right hip comes slightly back, left hip rolls in. Okay, keeping the belly in. If you feel stable, you can then extend the hands to the sky, gazing forward and breathing. Long, slow breath, warrior one. One more breath here. Fab. Let's open out into a warrior two. So keep the front foot where it is. You've got a big deep bend in the front knee. It's tracking the ankle joint. And from here we're spinning outward with the back foot. So we're turning the back foot so that the front heel, the back instep is aligned and your back big toe is slightly pointing forward. And then you're opening out with the arms. So you've got this T position with the arms, fingertips reaching either side of the room. And think about the centre line. So from the lower area of the body, pelvic floor, all the way up through the crown is one long line. So we're not here or here. We're nice and centred, then everything spreads out from there. Most important thing I find in this position is making sure that that knee joint is nicely stacked and that the head of the kneecap is pointing forward with the big toe. And then you can just look towards your middle finger and breathe deeply. It's quite a strong position, this. Keep opening out those thighs, belly is active. Long, slow breath. Lovely. From here, let's work into Untitled Chapter. Okay, so extended side angle pose. We bring the front elbow onto the front thigh, support the body, reach the top arm up towards the sky. Find one long line from the bottom hip all the way up through the top hip. Opening out and broadening this heart space. Work the legs. Lovely. If this is not quite enough for you, you want to come a little bit deeper, you can always bring the fingertips to the floor, to the inside of the foot. Okay, just coming up or down on level, you don't need to force anything. If this is not quite enough for you, you can always take an even deeper stretch by bringing the top arm up and over the body. Okay, really aiming for one long line from the outer back foot all the way up through the top fingertips. And just for a little bit more challenge, we might even want to gaze towards the little finger, which is rolling slightly inwards. One more breath, everybody. Lovely work. And then from here, everybody can start to spin down. So if you're here, just start to reach down to the floor, working the strength of that front leg. Turn onto the ball of the back foot, so you've got your lunge pose. Push into your hands and then step back into that plank position, straight onto the knees. Lovely. Find that tabletop pose. From here, shift the body weight forward, draw the elbows in and back. Start to lower the body to the earth from the elbows, or chest and chin can come down. Slide the pubic bone to the earth. Big inhale, lift the chest up and away from the earth. Find your cobra position, so a little back bend. And exhale, chest back to the floor. Push up and back, child's pose. Okay, so sit bones back into the heels and relax the head to the floor. You can also relax the hands to the side of the feet, giving the shoulder girdle a little rest. Long, slow, deep breath here. And then notice where the breath is, guys. Slow it right back down again. Fab. Okay, and then we'll work through the other side. So you can again stay in child's pose, regain the breath, have a little chill, or come back up into dog. OCD with the hands, so index finger forward, ground down through it, make it nice and active into the floor. Spread. Lift up and back, take your down dog, finding this even spacing of weight and distribution of activity through hands and feet. Looking forward, inhale, step the left foot forward. So again, it might just reach here, that's fine. Maybe pick it up and put it in between the hands until eventually we might get there, or not, it doesn't really matter. Left foot shimmies out to the left slightly, space in between the heels. Turn your back foot down at an angle, so your heels on the floor. Again, if you want to work with a bit of a shorter distance between front and back foot, you can. From here, bring the chest bone over the thigh, and then hips are forward as you reach for the sky, taking your warrior one. Thinking about that position where the hips are forward, so we might want to take hold of the hips and draw the hips forward, but try and keep the belly in. So often this hip movement forward makes us flare out slightly in the ribs. Okay, so we can either challenge the stretch in the back front thigh, or we can step a little further forward so we've got an easier spacing to move that hip so that it's head-like towards me. Okay, so just choosing your option. If you feel stable, you can reach for the sky, taking this warrior one, breathing in and out nice and slowly. Connect to breath for one more round. Lovely. Open out warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. Turn the back foot outwards, shimmy it away a little bit so you've got space in between the hips. Front heel back arch aligned, and then extend your arms out into your T position. Warrior two. Think about the full midline from the pelvic floor to the crown of the head being centered and balanced. Then everything stretches out from there. Gaze to the middle finger, soften the breath. One more breath. Stay present in this pose, guys, as much as you can. Lovely. Front elbow comes onto front thigh. Lovely. Extended side angle pose. Option A, take the top arm up towards the sky, palm spreads. One long line from bottom hip all the way up through top fingertips. Extra option, bringing that lower hand to the inner arch of the foot, either fingertips or palm. Don't force yourself. If it doesn't feel right, come into the previous pose. If you want to come a little further, you can start to extend that top arm up and over the body, palm faces down. And just for a final bit of challenge, maybe we can gaze towards the top little finger. Lovely. Rotate the rib cage up towards the sky. One more breath. Lovely work, guys. Pop the hand down either side of front foot. Turn onto the ball of the back foot. Push up and away from the earth with the back of the heart space. Lovely. Step back into a plank position. Keep the belly active, nice and strong plank. Let's hold for one. Shoulders over wrists. 2 and 3. Pop the knees to the floor. Yay. Elbows in and back. Shift the body weight forward. Connect elbow to rib cage like a shelf. And then lower the body from the elbows. If the hips start to drop, chest and chin. Inhale, lift the chest. Or some of us might want to come a little further, come onto the tiptoes, push off the earth, draw the belly in to protect the lower spine, then shimmy onto the top of the feet and find an up dog. Work into the hands, open the heart forward, keep those thighs lifting away from the earth. This is the most dynamic pose of the practice, holding for one more breath. Lovely, draw the belly in or come onto the knees and lift the hips this time up and back into a down dog and take 5 long breaths here. Look towards the big toes, keep softening, don't be precious with this pose, just start to relax the breath, find a bit of sort of support around the feet and hands. One more breath. Let's take a big deep inhale through the nose and open the mouth for an exhale. Lovely. Looking forward, maybe we can bring the ankles close to the wrists and take a little cross-legged hop forward. Lovely, guys. Bringing the soles of the feet together from here, just dropping those knees out to the side, so you've got almost like a diamond shape. I'll just face you for this. Diamond shape with the hips, Baddha Konasana, butterfly. You can start to take a restorative version of this, so I like to actually thread my hands through and down by the ankles, palms spin up, and then relax the body into the space, just neutralising the spine here. Completely rounding in the spine, allowing the back of the neck to hang, the jaw is heavy, the chin comes downwards. And start to lower the body with the breath, so not with force, just with the breath here. Fab. Big inhale, come all the way up, unthread yourself from here, and then straighten the legs out. So I'll just come back to the length of the mat, straighten your legs out so that they're together. Give the hamstrings a little bang on the floor, so you're just awakening up the back of the legs. And then from here, move a bit of flesh from the bum. Yes, move a bit of flesh from the bum, because it allows the sit bones to ground to the earth and slightly tilt forward in the pelvis. So if we're right back here, we're just working the back to get into this forward fold. So we want to get a bit of flexibility into the ball and socket joint of the hip. So we're moving with a pivot from the hip, as well as starting to work into the upper part of the body. Okay, so forward fold from here, take hold of whatever you can. First, get that shift forward from the hip. Maybe you've got the knees bent for a little bit of extra length in the spine, that's fine. Then take hold of something, whatever you can reach. Take a light grasp and forward fold. I'm going to keep straight legs because I need to stretch out my lower hamstring. Just breathe in and relax in. The jaw is relaxed, the back of the head is relaxed. Lovely. Big inhale, roll all the way up. From here we're going to take the right foot and bring that right foot onto the floor, close to the groin as we bend in the knee. And we're going to take hold of the shin with both arms. So I like to actually wrap my elbows all the way around the shin like this and bring the chest bone with a bit of lengthening through the spine towards the thigh. So we're getting this really tall spine, connection to abdomen and thigh. Working into a little twist, Marichasana C. So this is how we'll do this. Take the left hand, so opposite hand to knee, and hug around the shin. So you're already drawing the body to the right side. Yeah? Hug around the opposite shin with opposite hand. Then reach the right arm to the sky on an inhale, and exhale, spiral the hand all the way around the back, support the spine, and pop that palm on the floor behind the right bum cheek. Twist to the right. Now if this is not quite a deep enough twist, you can always take that left elbow, so opposite elbow to knee, to the outside of the knee. Activate your hands so you've got that resistance, so you can start to work into your twist. Now inhale, find some length, and exhale, twist to the right. Work your breath here, guys. Inhale and exhale, a little bit of a deeper twist. And release. Lovely. Opposite side, so left foot comes in and up, sole of the foot grounds to the floor. Start to hug first of all. I hug in and then I lift up to find that connection to abdomen and thigh. Try and think about your right foot, so your straight foot also wants to be quite active, so you're slightly pressing the ball of the foot away from the face. From here, just hug around the shin bone with the opposite elbow, so you're finding that connection. That will already bring you out to the left side a little bit. And then from here, left hand to the sky, reach up on an inhale, exhale, spiral it all the way around, support the back of the spine, and twist to the left. Okay, if that's too much, elbow can come onto the outside of the thigh. Inhale, lift up through the heart space, exhale, twist back. Try and breathe into some other area than the belly here, because obviously the belly becomes a little bit crushed whilst you're in a twist. So breathe into the side ribs. Send the breath into the side of the body. Last breath. Really nice. And release. Fab. From here, make your way onto the back, all the way down onto the back, and take the feet with you and pop those feet onto the floor as close towards the bum as possible. So you should just be able to skim the back of the heels with the fingertips. Slightly turn the big toes in here, so you've got a little bit of a pigeon toe going on. And then from here, press the hands to the floor, and on an inhale, curl the belly muscles in and up as you sort of lift the tailbone off the floor and take the hips away from the earth. Coming into a bridge pose. Okay, so work the bum muscles also here, just lightly thinking about working the back body. Some of you might be able to just shimmy the shoulder blades a little bit closer towards one another underneath the back, and you'll notice how that gives you a little bit more height. And we're balanced on the shoulders, not the neck, so we've got this sort of nice connection to the earth with the shoulders and the feet. If you want to come a little further, you can always interlace the hands behind the bum and ground the knuckles into the floor. Lift away from the hands, lift away from the feet. Lovely. Try and keep your head still here, guys. Long, slow breath. Lovely. And on an exhale, unravel the elbows and shoulders and roll the body down to the earth. Fab. Draw the knees in, give yourself a little rock from left to right. Fabulous. Exhale, release the left leg and extend the left leg straight down the mat. Keeping hold of your bent right knee. And then again, opposite hand to knee, so left hand to knee, twist that knee all the way over the body, coming into a supine twist. This is really nice to end a yoga practice with, because it just gives us that lovely little sort of diagonal twist of the spine. Wrings out any extra tension in the body. Now your knee might come towards the floor, it might not, it might be up here, it doesn't matter, eventually it will start to release. Just bringing this right hand and maybe the gaze in the opposite direction to the knee. Breathe into belly. Lovely. And then come into centre. Bringing both knees in. Swapping sides, so right leg comes down the mat straight. Opposite hand to knee, so right hand to shin. And start to draw that kneecap all the way over the body, finding your twist. Doesn't matter where the knee comes to, that's not the point of the practice, just whatever feels right for you. Big breaths into the belly. Fab. Lovely. And let's finish. So we'll come into Savasana. This is a really important part of the yoga practice that often sometimes people think is not as important, but it is. You can't have activity without rest, both work together, so it's important that you just have just a moment here, lying flat on the back, just bringing the hands to the side of the body, but spin the palms to face the ceiling. Close your eyes down and breathe normally. So really normal breaths into the belly. Finding a little bit of stillness for a moment, noticing what the body feels like, hopefully a bit more stretched, a little bit less tension. And you can always stay for longer. You can always stay as long as you like if you've got the luxury. Or you can start to join me twisting in the ankles and the wrists. So if you're completely new to this, The wrist joints need time to strengthen and generate some flexibility, and it will come. But for now they might feel a bit tight because you've done a lot of work on them, so get the movement back into it. Big stretch up, take an in-breath, lengthen the spine. And on an exhale, drawing the knees into the chest, keeping the arms above the head, and just start to rock yourself over to the right side, so you're in a little ball, in like a little fetus position. That lower left arm, sorry, right arm in your case, is supporting the head here. Lovely. And then when you're ready, slow as you can, bring yourself up into easy pose. Whatever that might be for you, it might be you're on a chair, it might be you've got your legs straight, I don't mind. Bring the hands to prayer at the centre of the heart space. And then rub in the palms, make yourself a bit of heat with the palm. Thank you. Thanks for practicing with me, guys. Namaste. Lovely work, everybody. Hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, nice simple flow for you in the morning. Who have we got here? Hi Vered, hi Claire, hi Samantha. Lovely. So I will leave you to the rest of this beautiful sunny day. Hope you have a wonderful day, whatever you're doing. Thank you so much for joining me. Let me know how you found it. If it's your first time, let me know if it was supportive for you or you enjoyed it, and if there's anyone you want to tag or share this to that you think will help with their starting their yoga journey, then that would be lovely. Okay, I shall see you tomorrow, and we have Kundalini Yoga tomorrow. Kundalini Yoga tomorrow, we have a very energetic practice, and it's focused around cardiovascular health and a little bit of weight loss. So, not that that's ever an important thing, but a lot of people have been asking for it, so I'm going to deliver it. And like you know, guys, if you've been watching the live videos this week and last week, this is our last week of live classes that are for free. We've been doing them now since the beginning of lockdown. Amazing, amazing community of people that we've gathered, and it's so nice to have you all. But like we say, we do not earn a wage from this, but it's been so kind for your donations. We've been doing these completely for free, but it is not sustainable. So we are going into a members only subscription service, which is basically lots of unlimited videos, and all your live classes will be from a secret members Facebook page. So yeah. Because you're our sort of live viewers, we are going to be giving you this for an early bird price. If you wanted to join in with any of these, then just send us your email, let us know. But I just have to keep telling you on these videos that this is going to be the last week. So that's what I want to say to you all. Hi, Alyssa. Okay, darling, I shall see you all tomorrow. If you are in Kundalini Yoga, enjoy the sun. Bye.